Whew. Happy holidays, everyone. Over the past few weeks, I've been posting several gauntlets and asking you guys, whether in videos or on lives, where do you think these characters stop, or do you think they clear? Well, it's my turn. I'm going to give you guys my opinions on each of these gauntlets. Mind you, there's a lot of gauntlets to talk about, so I'm going to run through them real quick. If you guys want more details on why I think the way I do, I am going to be going live tonight, so don't hesitate to jump up and discuss. First off, Naruto runs the Marvel Gauntlet, and it's conceivable that he could beat Black Panther, Storm, or Namor, but hard stops at Mysterium Armor Iron Man. Damian runs the Marvel Street Tier Gauntlet. I think it's conceivable that Damian could beat everyone here. If he was to stop, it would likely be with Captain America. Damian has, for the most part, superior skill, as well as better gear and tech, however the physicals go to Marvel. The dynamic duo run the Marvel Tag Team Gauntlet. Without a single shadow of a doubt, Batman and Nightwing clear this. They have superior skill, experience, as well as their team synergy. Their gear and tech is better, and with the exception of a few characters, they have overall better physicals. I was surprised on how many people think that they don't even start. The Bat hate is real. Captain America runs the League of Assassins Gauntlet. I think it's conceivable that Captain America could beat as well as stopped by any of the first four characters. However, I think in all likelihood he hard stops at Deathstroke. Deathstroke has relative or better stats than Captain America, as well as a better healing factor and better gear and tech, and is more experienced. Shang-Chi runs the DC Martial Artist Gauntlet, straight hands, no gear, tech, weapons, supernatural abilities, or rings. And while he has a physical advantage over Damian and likely could beat him, he hard stops at Connor Hawk. Every DC character here has better statements, showings, skill, knowledge, and experience than Shang-Chi. And I know a lot of Marvel fans will think I'm glazing, but just like Marvel has the better telepaths, DC has the far better martial artists. Sasuke and Naruto run the Marvel Tag Team Gauntlet, and while it's conceivable that they can stop at any point in the first four matches, or even clear those matches, I think they hard stop at Jean and Cyclops. Captain America runs the Batman Adversary Gauntlet. I think it's conceivable that he can beat the first three. However, when it comes down to Deathstroke, he hard stops there and definitely stops at Owlman. This is going to ruffle some feathers, but Black Panther runs the DC Martial Artist Gauntlet. Straight hands, no gear, no tech, no supernatural ability or weapons. Every character here is a far superior fighter than T'Challa, and before you bring up King of the Dead, that's not an automatic download of his ancestors' wisdoms and knowledge. He has to go into a mental, mystical headspace to counsel with them to gain that wisdom, experience, and knowledge. But every character here has better statements, better showing, more experience, more knowledge, and overall are better hand-to-hand combatants than Black Panther. However, with the physicals, it's conceivable that he gets through the first three, but hard stops at Lady Shiva. However, I think more often than not, he's probably stopping at Connor Hawk. My favorite Marvel character, Wolverine, gets his own gauntlet, and with the exception of Prometheus, I think everyone here has a chance of beating him. However, he has a chance of beating them. Green Arrow with his trick arrows in distance could incapacitate or knock out Wolverine. Azrael with his superior physical stats, as well as his Wrath of God ability, could knock out or incapacitate him. Hawkman is just DC's version of Wolverine with nth metal instead of adamantium, as well as the ability to fly and superior skill or experience. And Deathstroke has the speed and the knockout capability to take down Wolverine. Bane runs the Marvel Street Tier Gauntlet. He's passing through the first two with Black Widow and Okoye, and I think it's conceivable that he could beat or lose to Elektra, Daredevil, and Captain America, with the toughest fight being Captain America. Storm runs the founding member Justice League Gauntlet. Her and Aquaman would be an interesting fight. Both characters have one-shot capability over each other. Aquaman has the superior physicals, while Storm has the better weather manipulation and range. But she hard stops at Martian Manhunter. Deathstroke runs the Marvel Street Tier Villain Gauntlet, and frankly I think he clears with a mix of mid to high difficulty. Iceman runs the founding Justice League member Gauntlet. He beats Aquaman, and there's good arguments on both sides between him and Martian Manhunter. However, he likely stops at Flash, who can either speed steal, go so fast that Iceman can't activate any of his abilities, or just simply shatter him so many times he wouldn't be able to reform consistently. Regardless of that, he hard stops at Hal Jordan, who has a counter for everything Iceman brings up. Iron Man in his Mysterium armor runs the founding Justice League gauntlet, and while he does beat Aquaman, I think he stops at Martian Manhunter, who has enough speed, hacks, abilities to create a defensive front to get up close, and multiple different hacks and abilities to take out Iron Man. Sure, Tony would have counters to some of them, but not all of them. Sephiroth runs the Fantastic Four gauntlet. I think he likely stops at Sue Storm, but hard stops at Doctor Doom. Hawkeye runs the Green Arrow family gauntlet. Regular arrows, no trick arrows. He gets through the first two with Red Arrow and Shadow. He possibly stops at Arsenal, likely stops at Connor Hawk, and is a 50-50 between him and Green Arrow. Namor runs the Aquaman family gauntlet. He gets through Aqualad. He gets through Black Manta. It's a 50-50 with him and Garth. They have comparable physicals to each other. Namor is a better combatant, but Garth has better arcane magic. But he hard stops at Mirror, whose water manipulation and hydrokinesis absolutely slams Namor. Hercules runs the founding Justice League member gauntlet. Is a 50-50 between him and Aquaman. Aquaman has been able to defeat the likes of DC's Hercules, go toe-to-toe with Martian Manhunter, stalemate Wonder Woman, and go up against Superman. However, at the end of the day, he hard stops at Martian Manhunter. While he does have the ability to hit Martian Manhunter, despite his phasing, Martian Manhunter's speed, strength, and overall hacks and abilities would overwhelm Hercules. The Justice League, with their founding members, run the Marvel Team Gauntlet, and they clear without any doubt. A lot of people think they stop at the Annihilators. However, Martian Manhunter, Superman, Wonder Woman, Hal Jordan, and Barry Allen the Flash, all faster than every character here, as well as having the capabilities to take down Kryptonian-level threats. The majority of the Annihilators are killed almost instantly, with Silver Surfer there getting ganged up by the Justice League. Super Sons run the Marvel Duo Gauntlet, and they clear, with John Kent carrying the majority of the fights. And by the way, that's Base Jean, no Phoenix. Captain America runs the Batman family gauntlet, and while you can't argue that he clears the first three, he hard stops at Azrael. Better physicals, better gear, better overall tech, and the Wrath of God ability would be too much for Captain America. All it takes is one touch. Punisher runs the Batman family gauntlet. He clears, spoiler, 50-50 between him and Duke if Duke uses his powers, and in all likelihood stops at Tim Drake and hard stops at Barbara Gordon. Superman runs the heavy hitter Marvel Gauntlet, and he clears, undoubtedly, 100%. Iron Man in his Mysterium armor runs the Superman Gauntlet. While he could get past Connor and likely is going to get stopped by either Supergirl or Power Girl, he is going to get hard stopped by John Kent. Ares runs the Marvel God Gauntlet, and I think he gets through the first four very convincingly. However, right now, I do believe that Thor could defeat DC's Ares in his avatar forms. Wanda runs the Teen Titan Gauntlet. I think it's conceivable that she gets taken out by Cyborg. It is likely that she could lose to Raven, but 100% gets hard stopped by Wally West. Spider-Man runs the Batman Adversary Gauntlet, and I do think that his hardest fight is actually in the middle with Poison Ivy, in which he does stop at. In a random encounter with no prior knowledge and Poison Ivy's control and power of the green, it would be too much for the web-slinger. Nova runs the Green Lantern Gauntlet, and in all likelihood, he stops at Jessica Cruz or hard stops at Kyle Rayner. Silver Surfer runs the Justice League founding member Gauntlet. He defeats Aquaman, likely defeats Martian Manhunter, and likely could defeat the Flash. However, he stops at Green Lantern. With the exception of Aquaman, everyone here has better combat speed than Silver Surfer, and only Barry has the better travel speed. However, Hal Jordan has all the hacks, abilities, and resistances against the power cosmic. A fully powered Alec Holland as Swamp Thing clears his gauntlet. Live action Captain America stops at comic Stephanie Brown. So there's my opinions on all of these gauntlets. If you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. If you want to talk about it, I'm going live tonight, and I would love for anyone that disagrees with me on these gauntlets to come up and we can have a great conversation about it. Because every time we've gone live talking about these gauntlets, they've all been great conversations. And I'll take some creators who I would love to have come up and have discussions on my live. You guys have a great day and a happy Thanksgiving.